You sure they're sealed properly?
They look pretty sealed.
You can tell by looking?
You can?
Oh, shots fired. All right. You can. No, I can't, Katie. All right? I can't. And the freezer's open.
Sealed.
Why is the freezer open? What are we doing here? All right, welcome back to episode 4 of the Need to Know podcast. I know it's been a couple weeks since the last episode, and it's for a good reason. We just needed some time to keep lining up really great guests, and that brings us to today. If you haven't noticed, we're not in our normal kitchen, and that's because we came out here to State College, to Penn State, to have today's guest, who is, she'll tell us, but she's got to be one of the biggest creators on the internet right now. It's honestly incredible what she's done. So today's guest is Katie Feeney. Katie, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Is that right? Like, you've got to be one of the biggest creators on the internet.
I don't know about
right?
that.
Like, don't be humble.
Maybe in the college space.
Okay, that's fair.
But I don't know. I feel like people will either know me or not know me at all, which I'm okay with.
I think everybody knows who you are. I think literally everybody that's on the internet has seen you at some point in time. So I'd love to know, before we kind of get into the food and everything, which, by the way, what I'm making for you, basically the past 2 episodes, the dish that I've made, I had no idea really how it was going to turn out. And that's kind of what we're doing today. So I'll get into that and explain to you what it is in a minute here. But for now, I'd love to kind of just, for those that don't really know anything about Katie Feeney, kind of give like the 2-minute pitch on who Katie Feeney is, kind of what your story is.
I am a full-time student and content creator. I have been at this for a while.
Yeah.
I didn't really intend to ever do content creation as a career, but I started in middle school, actually.
Really?
It started really progressing for me my junior year of high school, which was around like the quarantine time.
Okay.
I did like completely different content than I do now. I did unboxings and product reviews and challenges and dances. I danced, I played track. So I did a lot of sports related stuff in that way. But then coming to Penn State, I kind of shifted gears to the college content. I was taking my audience with me as I was experiencing school for the first time, living in a dorm, what it's like having a roommate. And then I went on the field for the very first time, the Penn State whiteout game, which completely changed the entire trajectory of my career and just like what I am passionate about. Yeah. So now I'm kind of going in the sports route. Yeah. I was the NFL's first ever social media correspondent with the Washington Commanders.
Crazy.
Yeah, so crazy. I didn't know what to expect. It really started with Penn State. Yeah. Getting noticed, I guess, from doing all of that. And then went to my first Super Bowl that same year. Wow. Now I've been to 3 MLB All-Star Weekend. I've done some stuff with the NHL, my first thing with the NBA. So yeah, doing a little bit of everything. I've been very lucky to be in the spot that I'm in and also be in school. I love the normalcy.
That's what's crazy is you're a full-time student at the same time.
I think people, they always ask why I am in school, and it's not that I necessarily need to be, but I think just from even like what I've learned as a person and growing as a person from being here, and honestly, like if I had never gone to Penn State, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now, so I'm very thankful for it. Yeah, but it's definitely a bit of a challenge to balance everything sometimes.
Sure. All right, so first question.
Yes.
You're not from Pennsylvania, are you?
No, I'm from Maryland.
Maryland, okay. Yes. So was Penn State choice number 1 for you?
No, it was not. I was 99% going to go to University of Maryland.
Interesting.
I was completely ready to go. A lot of it had to do with just the fact that it was in-state tuition. Both my brothers were there at the time. So it made the most sense financially and just, I don't know, I thought it'd be easy to be close to home. It's like 30 minutes away from me, not even. Yep. So I would have the ability, if I got packages sent or if I had to travel somewhere,
You're right there.
Yeah, I'm right there. Yeah. But then I started making money from doing social media and was able to pay for college myself. Wow. Because the difference is pretty big for Maryland to Penn State. It's not an inexpensive school to go to.
Yeah. So are you happy with your decision to go to Penn State?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Like, I feel
so
like you
happy
have,
to be here.
Not that Penn State was ever irrelevant. Like, Penn State is like one of like the top schools in a lot of different fields, but I feel like what you were able to, which I feel like you would have been able to do at Maryland too, but just what you were able to kind of show from, because I remember when I started following you, which was probably back in 2019 or 2020.
Wow, yeah.
It was like you kind of showing like what just your day is as a college student.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was really interesting just to kind of see how that progressed. So I think it's cool that it was able to be here at Penn State, you know?
Yeah, I'm happy that it was a decision that I made on my own, but was also last minute. I kind of just went with my gut and invested in myself in a way. I knew that I would be happier here. Also, I was very known in like my hometown and basically like majority of my high school. If you get into University of Maryland, you're going to go. It's an incredible school, very hard to get into. I also got into like the honors program there, the business school. So I got into really great programs.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would have been very happy to go, but it's just I thought by going here, people wouldn't know me and I could kind of go undercover.
How'd that work out?
Terribly.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Like, I think freshman year was a little bit tough for me, getting used to people just recognizing me, taking pictures of me, because I had never experienced it.
And you're a
in
freshman
that
in college, like experiencing college for the first time. So
it was a lot
I can't
at
even
once,
imagine, yeah.
But now, like, I just have to enjoy it because I don't know if it's how my career is going to continue or if I'll be at this level. And like, I mean, I'm a content creator at a university in a college town. Like, I don't know if I'll ever be recognized that much to the extent that I am now. So it's fine. Like, I just have to enjoy it. And if people ever give me a hard time, like, it's all part of it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so quick pause from about you. I want to explain what I'm cooking today.
Yes.
So basically, as I usually just do like some minor research on each guest. And when I Google Katie Feeney, Penn State overwhelmingly comes up and TikTok comes up a lot. So I figured I would use those two things as inspiration. So we're doing blue and white pasta, a blue dough and a white dough. And then do you remember, none of my camera guys remember this, but I hope that you'll remember this. Back in like 2019, maybe I'm just dumb and the only one that saw this on the internet, but back in like 2019, 2020, the viral like baked feta pasta dish.
No, when I saw the feta, I thought that that's what you were going to be doing.
Yeah, so I'm going to do kind of a riff on that. We're going to do like a feta ricotta ravioli with a tomato sauce.
Wow.
That hopefully tastes good. Like I said, I've never made it before, so we're going to find
out. I don't eat anything extravagant here.
Well, what do you eat? Because like I feel like a typical college student doesn't have like the most extravagant diet. They're not eating crazy stuff, you know?
We have like a nice kitchen in my apartment. My roommates are always in there, but I'm the worst. I think I've used that kitchen maybe like a handful of times.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always in a rush, and there's this food place called Roots.
Okay,
that I
Roots,
get every single day.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to get microwavable meals.
All right.
It's a little bit better though, because in a way I'm making it. It is. Well, it's pre-made. It's not like it's like actually it's good food.
All right,
and then I just stick it in the microwave for 2 minutes and boom, it's ready.
I trust it. Well, we're gonna try and level that up a little bit here today with today's dish. And I'm glad you said when you got here you brought an apron, which is good.
I did bring an apron. I came prepared because I didn't see your other guests getting as much in the kitchen, so I think that needs to happen today.
Well, yeah, you're gonna get involved here today. And unfortunately for you, for the other episodes, like what I've made during the episode, I also had some like already ready to go. This one I don't. So if these raviolis that we make don't turn out, you're leaving here very hungry. So we need to make sure that we do a good job. All right, so in here I have the ricotta, some feta, we'll do some black pepper, and we're gonna do a little bit of salt. Do you eat a lot of pasta?
Honestly, no.
No?
I don't.
Okay. Fair enough.
Love pasta, but I don't know. I don't eat it as much as I probably could.
That's fair.
Also, again, I eat out every day.
That's fair too.
And sushi is my favorite food.
Ooh, I do love sushi. Sushi's really good.
Sushi's my favorite.
Okay, let me get this here into a piping bag. And then I'm gonna get the tomatoes going back on the burner there, just kind of start breaking down. So what, I'm curious to hear about, I mean, I've obviously read some things online and just from seeing what you've done from the sidelines here, what has it been like to be obviously the first social media correspondent for the NFL and then just so involved with the NFL and different things? Like what was your reaction when they first reached out? Like, how did that go?
It's been an incredible experience, a very unexpected journey as well.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I didn't see it coming. Like, it really very quickly escalated just from, I think once you do one thing, you naturally start doing more.
Yeah. Was that your freshman year?
It was my freshman year.
That's crazy.
And, like, I had never done anything sports related other than Penn State football at that point. So, and no one had done it yet. And now there's a lot of teams that have some sort of social media correspondent, but at the time, like, I didn't know, there was no one ahead of me that I could, like, watch and follow. Like, there was traditional broadcasters that I watched, and, like,
nobody
I love
was
Aaron
doing
Andrews.
It in the social space, like,
right, but no one was doing it in the social space, so it was kind of up to me to figure out,
especially at such a young age too. Like, it's crazy.
But I mean, like, everyone that I've worked with has been so helpful and so kind.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely, like, I'm sure some photographers and videographers, when they see I mean, at the time I was, 19 with an iPhone camera on the field during the
What's
game.
What's this girl
like,
doing here? Get out of here.
Which, I mean, I've, like, multiple times at an NFL game, they're like, are you allowed to be on the field?
Yeah.
And they have to, like, check and make sure, because it's very new. Now there's more of it, but at the time, there hadn't been.
Yeah. That's insane. So, sorry to derail a little bit here. Like, what did you, I mean, I know you said you started with social media stuff in high school. When did you ever have that moment that you realized this is what you want to do?
I would say,
like, what did you want to do before social media? Like, did you ever
wanted
have
to
any
do
career
occupational therapy.
Okay.
I really liked science.
Cool.
And I was a dancer, and I don't know. It was either physical therapy or occupational therapy. Before that, I wanted to be a doctor. Then I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to do things very different than what I'm doing now.
I was going to say very, very different.
Like, I never even thought I would do anything in the sports space or broadcasting. I thought I would go a little bit more of a traditional route.
Sure.
And then, I think once I started working with brands and started monetizing my content, I realized that this is something that you can do long-term, short-term, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And from then, I've been really just trying to focus on building a long career and doing things that will lead to the longevity
and just
of
doing
it.
things I feel like that you've done that other people aren't doing. You're kind of like paving, like we talked about earlier, paving your own way and doing things.
Yeah, I like that I have a little bit of a niche. I never saw myself in LA or New York, or I never wanted to be grouped, I think, with a group of people doing one type of thing. I kind of like that I'm one of the few in this space, and I'm sure it's going to grow, and I'm happy if I contribute to that. And I'm also all for women in sports. I think that's awesome, and how, like, girls are getting recognition. So I don't know, it's a fun space to be in. And I'm not just a sports creator. I do a lot of lifestyle too. So I think, like, merging the two, and
I feel like you do everything. Like, I feel like I'm always thinking, like,
I know, I do a little,
man, this is crazy.
Well,
she does it all.
I don't like to limit myself to only showing one aspect of my life. I like to show many different aspects of my life. And also, like, I'm still learning. I'm still figuring things out.
Yeah.
I don't really know the answer to everything, but I want to be transparent about that.
Yeah, which I think is important. Time for pasta. So I figured I needed to try to replicate Penn State's colors as best as I could. So I tried to do the navy blue. Don't hold me to it, all right?
Close enough.
But the white is close, right?
Yeah, it's like an off-white.
Off-white, all right, whatever. Harsh critic over here. So I'm going to go ahead and roll these out and hopefully kind of laminate them together to make a nice pattern. And then it's time to get to work so that we can eat something.
I'm so excited to see this happen.
Yeah, because when we did our little collab a couple years ago, all we did was make the pasta dough, right?
Yeah.
That was it. Which was kind of boring. It's a little bit more fun.
Much more fun.
So we're going to get this rolled out a little bit more. And then the idea that I'm going to try to do is we'll stack these on top of each other and then cut that. You'll see. It's hard to explain, but it hopefully will work out perfectly. So I'm curious. I remember seeing when you posted about it.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the White House thing. How the heck did that happen?
I got an email. So it's like a student media group called AKSM.
Okay.
And it's a lot of Villanova like students and grads, and they reached out to me. I thought it was a fake email.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I went for the holiday decorating, and I mean, I just try to stay out of anything like too political, anyways. So I do more of the special events, and I haven't been able to go to something in a bit, just because there's always some sort of conflict with time.
Sure.
But I'll hopefully go to the holiday decorating again, and I went when the Chiefs visited for the Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. I was very close to Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, which is cool. Prior to the Taylor Swift era.
Yeah. I mean, like, what has been the biggest like pinch me moment that you've had? Like, because you've done a lot of really cool stuff. You've been to Super Bowls. You've been to the White House. You've done a lot of stuff. Has there been one moment where you're like, what am I doing?
I think so. I wasn't planning to go to the Super Bowl this year just because there was a lot going on. Penn State Thon was the following weekend. I think I had something the weekend before. It was just very like a last minute decision because I don't know. I was nervous about going, and I'd be going by myself, so I had some anxiety about it, but I ended up going anyways, and it ended up being one of the biggest moments for me because I was one of like the red carpet hosts for the Fanatic Super Bowl party, and I met Tom Brady, interviewed Joe Burrow. I mean, every like big celebrity, Odell Beckham Jr. was there. I had never been in a room with that many high-profile people, so that was definitely a pinch me moment because I got to go to the party afterwards too, and just like looking around the room and only seeing A-list celebrities and athletes, it was a very surreal moment. That was a big pinch me moment.
I can't imagine.
And then I think honestly, it never gets like, I don't get used to this. Every time I go to something, I'm always so in awe. Yeah. Which I feel like that's a good thing. I feel like
absolutely.
When you start to get too used to it, it comes across as not as authentic.
Yeah, I would agree. What's been like your favorite place you've been to or collab you've done? Would it be that?
That's one of them. I also loved MLB All-Star Weekend. I went in 2022. That was a lot of fun because I did not expect to get the access I had. So I got to interview like Bryan Cranston at the Celebrity All-Star Game, and then I also got to talk to some of the biggest names in baseball, and it was very like the atmosphere it was in was very intimate, where you could actually talk to these guys without huge crowds of people. It wasn't like a traditional press type of thing.
Sure, you're just trying to get through the interviews.
So I actually got to ask like Mike Trout a question on Soto, met Aaron Judge.
It's wild.
Yeah, it was crazy. And it was just so much fun. I love baseball.
Have you always been a sports fan?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with two older brothers.
Okay, so you're just around it.
I've always been around it.
You said you did track too, right?
Yeah, I ran track and field.
Yeah.
So I've always been around the sports environment, and I love just watching games and I love being a fan of something, whether it's a team or a player or a sport.
And I feel like especially too, it just coincides so well with social media anyway that it's like...
Yeah, it's becoming like
such a thing
really
now.
big. Yeah, especially, I mean, a lot of leagues are comfortable with it now.
Yeah.
Which maybe in the past they wouldn't be. So, I mean, putting like... The NFL putting their trust in a creator, it's very important that the creator doesn't do something to disrespect the league.
It's a giant billion-dollar company that you can't take that lightly.
Yeah, but my content has always been very like family friendly, brand friendly, which is why I think maybe not as many people know me, but I've done a lot of...
I think that's a crazy thing to say, that not that many people know you.
I don't know. I think it depends on where I am. At school, yes, people know me. But then if I go to like LA or something, it's not like I'm getting stopped on the streets.
She's lying. She's lying. She's 100% lying. So what's next for you after college? You're a senior, so you're graduating in the spring, right?
Yes.
So what's next?
It's a really good question that a lot of people have been asking me. I don't really know. I mean, I want to do something more than what I'm just doing now, but I also don't think social media is going anywhere. I think it's only continuing to grow. So, I don't know. I feel like it's more just where I'm going to live. And ideally,
Sure.
I want to live somewhere a little bit warmer than State College.
Yeah.
And Maryland gets pretty cold, too. I do
Yep.
like having 4 seasons, though, I will say. I think once I'm in a warm location, I'm going to miss the snow.
I lived in Florida for about 5 years.
Yeah.
And it was great, but I did miss the seasons.
Because then you don't appreciate it as much.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when it gets, like the first day it gets to 60, 65 degrees at Penn State, everyone's out on the lawn
they're
and
having a
doing their
great time.
homework.
Yeah.
And it's so fun.
Yep.
But if it's always like that, then I don't know. But then again, like I know people in California are just much happier people, so
It seems like that.
it really does. It's not even anytime I visit LA, I'm like, these are just really happy people.
Yeah. They're
I'm
living
like,
in the 70-degree weather every day.
Yeah, no humidity.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you have such like an insane runway ahead of you that like you can almost do anything. You know what I mean?
That's a lot of pressure.
Don't you think though?
I think that there's a lot of different avenues and different ways I could go.
Yeah.
But I like to challenge myself.
Yep.
And I like to do things that make me uncomfortable.
Sure.
I feel like every opportunity that has paid off for me has been something that's very new, had no idea how it was going to go.
Yeah.
But you have to take those chances and those risks, and then
You have to.
they either work or they don't.
Yeah, I feel like that's just kind of part of, even as someone that just like isn't in the social media space, like for anybody that's watching, that's just growing up and like
Yeah, and like for like
you
just
know?
for networking too. Like
Absolutely.
sometimes it's scary to reach out to someone or ask for advice, but you have to do those things. And
Yep.
most of the time I feel like people are willing to help. I've talked to a lot of different people in the sports space, and most of them say like stick with social media.
And it's
don't go down
I'm sure
broadcasting.
you've seen too. I've seen as well as like how small of a world it is.
Yeah.
And how like, I don't want to say it's easy to get connected with people, but it's kind of like once
Yeah.
you're in it, like
Yeah.
if you network the right way, like it really is a small world.
Yeah. It's cool though how I mean really anyone can become something through social media.
Literally. I
Which
mean,
like before it's like it was just celebrities.
Yeah.
And now it's like anyone can live in a world
Listen,
that's similar.
If I can become somewhat relevant making pasta on the internet, anybody can do this, you know?
What you do is very impressive. I am a terrible chef.
I'm just stirring some eggs and flour, okay?
See, but I can't even do that.
Well,
I can make oatmeal and I can make eggs. That's about it.
Well, I mean, that's about halfway there, I think.
Well, I don't know if you saw, I put something on my story the other day, but I made like football snacks and stuff for, just for like NFL football games.
Yeah.
NFL Sundays. And it was a disaster. It was the easiest things. I made nachos, pizza, and it was a pre-made dough. I just had to put the sauce on it and some cheese. And then I made brownies.
So what went wrong?
Everything went wrong.
Everything
went wrong.
I don't believe it.
I burnt the nachos, the pizza, I spilled the sauce. The brownies just weren't good. Actually, they tasted good. I couldn't get the lacing of, and it was one line with another 3 lines.
We gotta work on that.
I do. I need to go to a school for that. I should have taken a class. I'm sure they have them here.
I'm sure they do. All right, we're gonna get this rolled out. Kind of looks like Penn State colors,
Yeah,
right?
no, that's really good.
I think we're getting there. Like I said, once we cook this too, the blue should darken a little bit, so we should be money. Have you ever made fresh ravioli before?
No.
So today's the first, is what you're saying?
Yes, I have. I've really never made any pasta other than the wagon wheels.
The wagon wheels.
And penne.
All right, well,
But just the kind that comes in a box.
that's fair. Well, we're not taking this out of the box today.
I haven't really. I feel like just the pasta that you gave me last time. Like that's the only. Actually, I guess I don't know. Just I haven't seen the process and then also had the pasta.
Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah. What does it feel like as a college student walking around on campus, getting recognized left and right? Like, I'm sure you're used to it by now, but how does it feel?
It's strange. I'll never get used to it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I'm all that special. So for people to, I mean, and who knows what they're saying. I think it's like, people are very nice to me to my face, but I'm sure people send it in their group chat and put it in their private story, but it's fine, you know, I chose this and I get to do really cool things because of it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a give and take that you're putting yourself out there. There's going to be people always that are just have nothing better to do than talk, but I think overall it's like a net positive, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and I've also met so many nice people here and surrounded myself with really great people, so I have that support system. I think that's the most important.
I feel like you need it.
Yeah, if I felt lonely and just that side of things and friendships, then I think it would be much more difficult for me.
I feel like, I mean, I remember when I was in college and I was in my early 20s, if I had half the success that you're having now, like, I've talked to my friends about this before, I don't know how I would handle it. So, like, you really do need, like, those friends, those family that you can kind of, like, rely on, because it's not the life of a normal college student. And so
no, it's not at all. I thought it would be.
Millions of people basically, like, at your hand every single day, it's a lot.
I've just matured very quickly.
You kind of have to, right?
Yeah, I'm a bit of an old soul.
Yeah. All right. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be? Like, where's your dream spot to go to?
I want to go to Italy. Well, I've never been out of the country.
Really?
But I am going to London in a couple of weeks for something exciting. Very fun. So that'll be my first experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been. I mean, I didn't really travel much growing up. So it's funny, like, now
you're making up for it lately.
Yeah. It went from, I think I maybe went on a plane like twice up until high school. And then suddenly it was like I'm on a plane every other week.
Yeah.
But I love airports. I feel like it's like those movies where you're like the main character and you're just like by yourself in the airport.
You can create your own storyline.
Looking out the window.
Yeah.
Listening to the sad music. That's what I do.
It is the best. It is the best. Until you get like delayed or a flight canceled, then you're like, man, this.
Well, one time I got stuck in the airport for 24 hours.
Really?
It was brutal.
How does that happen?
I mean, it was, well, including like different flights and layovers and stuff. Well, just one. Well, actually, no. There was a medical diversion, so someone had like a panic attack.
Yep.
The plane landed in, I don't even remember. I feel like it was in Louisiana or something. But then I had like 3 new layovers, and then they kept getting delayed. And at that point, it was just funny because I hadn't slept and just kept.
I remember I was on a flight, I think back from LA to Pittsburgh, and we had a layover in Atlanta, and we were supposed to arrive in Atlanta at like 9 o'clock at night, quick layover, right up to Pittsburgh. And we're like 30 minutes away from landing in Atlanta, and the pilot comes on. He's like, hey, something's going on, like weather or something. We have to circle around. They'll let us know when we can land. We're like, okay, whatever. So it added like an extra 30 minutes, and we're just like flying around in the sky, and like an hour goes by, and he comes back on. He's like, all right, well, bad news. Atlanta is now closed. They're grounding all flights, so we have to go to like somewhere in Alabama or something. And we're like, all right, well, that stinks. So we start flying to Alabama, and then 20 minutes later, he gets back on. He's like, Atlanta's open. We're going back to Atlanta. So by the time we got there, though, all flights were canceled. So I got stuck in the airport there.
Oh, no.
There was like no more hotels. It was.
Well, this most recent time when like everything shut down.
Yeah.
I was one of the few flights that actually made it out. And it was out of Oregon. It was out of the Portland airport.
Yeah.
And no computers were working, nothing. And somehow I made it out. Like, I didn't even have a delay.
Lucky. Yeah,
I got so lucky. That was the time I would not have wanted to get stuck.
Yeah.
I was ready
There's
to go
sometimes
home.
you just want to get home.
Yeah, I was like.
Yeah. Especially the West Coast, the East Coast.
Yeah. I don't like the time difference at all. Yeah, even though it's a small time difference,
It's enough, though, to mess you up. All right, are you ready to make some pasta? I mean,
I don't know.
You look more
as
prepared
ready as
than
I'll
me.
ever be.
You look more prepared. You have an apron. I don't. I'm wearing a black t-shirt. I'm getting just covered in flour. Every now and then, I hope my wife's not listening. Every now and then, my studio is in my basement, and sometimes I'll be down there, like, supposed to be working, and I hear her come down, I'll just, like, throw flour all over myself. I'm like, hey, babe, like, sorry, I'm getting right back to it. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the first one.
All right.
And then I'll guide you through doing some yourself.
Okay.
It's easy. We have molds. It's nothing crazy.
I see your idea of easy is not my idea of easy.
What is not easy about this?
Well, I actually sprained my thumb or wrist.
Oh, man. Here
I
we
don't know.
go. It's like the Jordan flu game over here.
Well, I don't know if it's actually sprained, but I've taken up golfing as a new hobby.
Nice.
And I've jammed my thumb several times from hitting the golf club right straight into the ground.
Yeah, that's not
instead
fun.
of the ball. So, but I have a golf lesson tomorrow. So.
All right, so we're gonna get better.
So I'm hoping. Yeah, I was gonna wear my new brace over, but I didn't want to.
I thought you were gonna say you were gonna wear a golf glove. I'm like, man, she's getting serious about golf.
Oh, I'm very serious. I want to get good.
Golf is
or
fun.
playable.
It's my favorite thing to do besides cooking.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I feel like everyone knows how to golf, and I don't want to just be riding in the golf cart. I want to join in.
I love it.
So.
Okay, so we're gonna put a sheet of pasta down.
Okay.
And kind of press it down a little bit, and then we'll take the filling and pipe a good little bit in there. You feel confident so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy. And then we'll spray with a little bit of water, just kind of help it stick a little bit. And then we'll cut a nice square. And that'll go over top. And then I'm just gonna lightly, just to kind of seal all the edges. And then I cut these squares a little bit too big, so we'll trim them down now. And then the fun part is flipping it back over. Okay, then we'll flip it.
Oh, wow.
And then we can either cut it with a knife or we can get a little extra fancy.
Yeah, I like the fancy tool.
All right. I think the color is perfect. I think
the color
once
looks
they're cooked, it's
great.
going to be...
Yeah, that's awesome.
You're not going to be thinking this is Ohio State or Michigan. You're going to be able to tell this is Penn State.
Well, one time I went to, it was like recruiting day for Penn State football, and I did the one thing that anyone that knew anything about Penn State football wouldn't do. I showed up in red.
No way.
And this was on camera too. So I went back and changed. I was mortified.
I mean, you had to make that mistake.
I didn't even have to change, but I just, knowing that there's very important people there, and I was literally in bright red.
Yeah, that has to go.
It was not my best not my best work.
Okay. I'm going to flour this just a bit to make it a little bit easier for you. All right, this is your square. I trust you. But again, if you mess it up, you're just not eating today. Now I like to kind of like use like the back of my knuckle. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Now you can pipe some filling. Let's see. Okay.
This is kind of like baking though.
Yeah, filling. Exactly. It's like you're icing a cake. Except you're making ravioli. These are great. She's a pro.
Really? That one might be a little too much.
So far.
I like a lot of the filling.
Okay. These are great. All right, let me get you. This should fit actually. Here you go. Yep.
Should the stripes match?
Whichever way you're feeling.
Okay.
Yep. And then you can go ahead and kind of roll it a little bit. Just go lightly with it. You don't want to push too hard, but enough to seal it. What do you think?
I think it looks great.
So in episode 2, I had one of my good buddies on, Cody, who he's actually been here for Thon. He comes and does like live speed paintings.
Oh, okay, cool.
And he helped me make the pasta for his episode, and we did another filled pasta that we do by hand. And I told him it's very important that these get sealed properly, and I'm going to tell you the same thing.
Uh-oh.
So, I mean, Cody, he said his were sealed properly, and then once I put him in the water, he said, I'm actually not so sure that they're sealed properly now.
Did you seal your Cappellettis pretty good? Because if not, they're going to explode in here.
Listen, I did what I was coached to do.
Well, I coached you to seal in
I feel
there,
pretty.
you did.
I feel pretty confident.
Okay.
You know.
I mean, we're gonna find out
Yeah.
in just a few minutes here.
So do you feel comfortable?
No, but
You kind of looks like you're like wrapping a present now.
oh, I'm making sure.
Let's see. Oh, that's perfect. No, you're good. All right, let's see how you did. I'll let you kind of lift it off and see the reveal.
Wow.
Honestly, it looks better than mine. To be
Really?
honest. I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. Now you can cut them up. This is, again, you don't want to mess this part up. You want to make them look nice. So just cut them in nice squares. You can use a good amount of pressure. Guys, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm taking your spot. This is my show now.
This is our show now. Need to Know with Katie Feeney. It's here. She's got it covered. Those look great.
This is fun. Maybe this will be another new hobby of mine.
I think she was probably
Apart
up all
from
night last
golfing.
night just making raviolis. Just
Yeah, I
trying to get
actually
her ready,
was.
To be honest, I think.
I don't think I pressed hard enough though. Oh,
Yeah, maybe go through it again. Pressure. Oh, you're good. Yeah. All right. Let me get
it's okay.
these.
You'll just easily be able to distinguish which ones are mine.
Trust me, we're gonna be able to tell. These ones look great. Oh, see, I'm screwing up yours.
Cheater.
Oh my god. I think I just made yours look worse to make mine look better. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
What happened here? You didn't even cut all the way through it. Guys, now okay. Maybe I take back what I said. Maybe we gotta just have a couple more lessons. I'm gonna have you do it one more time.
All right. I'm ready this time.
Let me pop these in the freezer a while. Guys, how do I even get in this freezer? This is your square to start. Who's your dream, like, celebrity to meet? Like, if you could meet anybody right now.
I would really like to meet Sabrina Carpenter.
Ooh.
I'm a big Sabrina Carpenter fan.
I love her music.
Yeah, she's awesome. Also, Tate McRae. I love her music as well. I just
Fantastic.
love the new era of pop stars.
You
and
know,
they're bringing
it's
it
nice
back.
to. I'm a little older than you, but I grew up with like the Britney, the Christina,
Yeah.
and like they are it right now. Like
Yeah. No, it really.
it's cool
yeah.
to see this new wave of like pop music becoming like an actual thing again. Because I feel
Right.
like it wasn't for like the
No,
past
it
10,
wasn't.
15 years.
I feel like people were hating on pop.
yeah, but it's back.
It's so back.
All right, go ahead and pop that one in there. Yep, and then press it. I don't even need to tell you anything to do. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah, I just need to focus on the cutting part.
Well, you did it once already, so now you can just,
Oh,
yeah, get those. Okay, you're good. You have the piping part down, so that's not a problem. You sealed it properly. It's really just kind of getting them cut a little bit cleaner.
oh, spray with water.
Ah, see, I wasn't gonna tell her. She remembered.
The
Go
water
ahead.
part?
Yeah, you're good. I was gonna see if you were gonna do it without, but I think that means that I'm a good teacher, to be honest.
Yeah. See, this one has extra.
You said you like the filling, so I mean that is the best part of the ravioli. These look great.
I feel like it just works better when you use your hands.
I might trim off some of this too. It'll just be easier when we flip it. All right, go ahead. Let's see.
Yeah, it looks good.
I think it, but we have.
Yeah, this is the big. This is the
part
big
right
part
here.
for me.
Use more force than you think.
Well, my wrist is broken.
Oh, that's right. I thought it was your thumb.
It's both.
Now it's both. All
I don't
right.
know which one it is. This is my bad hand. I'm actually really at a disadvantage. This tool is extra hard this time.
All right, she did great the first time.
It's just...
Is it stuck?
No.
And honestly, not to make an excuse for you, but the countertop is, like, it's easier to work on wood.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, the countertop.
To be honest, like, you should always do pasta on wood countertops, not on whatever this is.
Oh, I feel like I should have done this part first.
Yeah. Yep. Perfect. I think they look good. I think they're fantastic.
This one's better than my first round. Oh, no.
No, I think it is. You don't think so? Oh my God. Okay.
Wait, those look great.
They look fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna get these in the freezer. We're gonna get cleaned up here, and then we'll get cooking and see what you think.
All right.
Okay, pasta's in the freezer. I'll give you actually, I'm not gonna give you a rating on how you did yet until I see that it did not fall apart.
You have no faith in me.
I do have faith, but I can't have too much faith. So.
It smells really good.
Did you ever eat or try the baked feta pasta on TikTok?
I did.
You did?
No,
I never
actually,
did. I never did.
I did, but it tasted a little bit off.
Why?
Because I think there's too much feta.
Yeah.
Like, it was just all cheese.
I'm not even a huge feta fan. That's why I put
I love feta.
ricotta and stuff in this one
and
too.
I love ricotta.
Yeah.
If that was blue cheese, I would just
I'm not
tell
a
you
big
I
blue
can't
cheese.
have
Yeah.
it.
But I just remember it was it always looked so unappetizing. Because wasn't it just they put a big block of feta and then the tomatoes around it and then baked it in the oven?
Yeah.
And they stirred it together and it looked terrible to me.
No, I mean, it's good for sure.
Well, hopefully this can...
This is like a fancier version.
That's what we're going for. So we got the tomatoes in there. We're going to put a little bit of tomato puree just to kind of help
What's the
it out.
difference between tomato puree and tomato sauce?
This is just tomatoes. There's no seasonings to it. It hasn't been cooked or anything. It's just basically tomatoes that they rice down, and that's about it. Just puree them down, and that's it.
Interesting.
So we'll get that going. This is looking pretty good. We're gonna add a little bit of balsamic vinegar. In my head, this is gonna taste really, really fantastic, but hey, I've made really gross things before, so hopefully that's not today. But. Okay, we're going to get our pot of water here up to a boil. I'm gonna have you salt it. You still have your apron on, which means you're still ready to be cooking.
Okay.
How much salt are you gonna add?
I don't know.
How much do you think? This is important.
Do I have to sprinkle it?
I mean, you gotta.
Is that the strategy?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I feel like it needs more than this.
I hope. We gotta bump that up. I would do that 10 times.
10 times?
Or just do more. You basically want this to taste like a really well-seasoned soup.
Okay, I'm on number...
You lost count, didn't you?
4. This is 5.
I think that was 6.
This is gonna be
We're gonna run
really
that back.
salty. This is number...
No, I don't even taste any salt.
Really?
Yeah. You'd be surprised.
Oh, I'm kind of getting it also on there.
Oh, great. No, that's fine. I think that should be good.
Okay.
I feel like people home cooks and stuff are either too what's the word I'm looking for? Not enough salt or too much salt.
Well,
I feel like it's very rare for
it to be
people
the
at home
perfect
to
amount.
know.
I feel like it's better to have less than more.
I would agree.
I don't
hard
like
to-
anything too salty.
Yeah. Especially too with this dish, we don't the feta's kind of salty. There's gonna be Parmesan
Right.
cheese.
I feel like we don't need any salt.
So she knew what she was doing. All right?
I knew exactly. I was gonna stop after the first one, honestly.
I mean, that would have been way too little. Do you add oil to your water when you cook pasta?
No.
Good. That was a trick question.
Oh, was that the test I had?
Well, no. Your test
that's
was good.
coming later?
So your test was, some of our guests, you know who you are, have made a mess of their workstation. You did not. You kept things pretty clean.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
There's
impressed.
just a little bit of salt.
You should have shown me that.
This is fancy salt.
This is fancy. Do you know, it's my buddy, do you know Nick DiGiovanni?
Oh yeah, I met
So this
him
is his company here.
at the YouTube Creator Summit.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Okay, let me grab the pasta out of this freezer, guys, that I can't, the door doesn't even open. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, if I had a bigger tray, this would not have worked. But. All right, before these go in the water, are you sure they're sealed properly?
They look pretty sealed.
You can tell by looking?
You can?
Oh, shots fired. All right. You can. No, I can't, Katie. All right? I can't. And the freezer's open.
Sealed.
Why is the freezer open? What are we doing here? No, I think they're sealed properly. I think you did a good job. Let's, here, I'll let you toss these ones in.
Okay.
Have you ever eaten blue pasta?
No.
Well, first time for everything.
There is a first time for everything.
So these should only take maybe a minute or two to cook.
Really?
Yeah, the pasta's pretty thin. They're not frozen solid, which is good. They look pretty, I don't see any of them busting open yet. A couple of them have, you see like how that one has like a big air pocket?
Yeah.
That's not ideal.
Those ones
fine.
are probably yours.
It's a crazy thing to say. Okay, the blue color definitely deepened.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's looking like a navy now.
We're getting there. We are Penn State. What
yeah.
are Penn State football games like? I have yet to go to one. I've heard the whiteouts are crazy.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. You should go to the whiteout.
I've heard they're insane.
I mean, like the fans, the atmosphere. I mean, the stadium fills up to 110,000.
Isn't it the biggest college football stadium? Isn't it
Second
the biggest?
I think.
Who's the biggest?
I think. I don't even want to say.
Yeah, don't say it.
I think it's Michigan.
We don't want to talk about Michigan.
I think I don't know. I think we might have a bigger attendance rate though. It's either our stadium is bigger, or no. I think we have more people.
Either way,
for a
100,000
smaller
is
stadium.
insane.
Oh, insane!
Like,
so at an NFL game, it's like 40,000.
40, 50, if that. Yeah. So 100,000 is just.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen like videos and stuff of the whiteouts, and it's just.
I mean, really, any night game.
Yeah.
They're all really fun.
Yeah.
There's a night game this weekend.
And you're down there on the field for every home game?
Yeah, I love it. I've only been in the stands for one game.
Yeah.
And it was my very first game freshman year. But I'm not too into the tailgating. I kind of like that I can just go right to the field. And I like having like a duty that I need to do.
I haven't been to that many college tailgates.
The Penn State ones are, I mean, it's just so spread out.
Yeah.
Like finding a tailgate.
I mean, college
can take
tailgates
an hour.
are just insane. Like compared to NFL, like they're next level.
Yeah.
Like
they're great. There's like
I think just college
tents
fans in general, college students. I remember this was probably back in maybe 2020. I did a collab with West Virginia University, and I don't know how or why, but they had me do like my little pasta making thing as like the halftime show. And I'll never forget, I'm like in the end zone doing it. They've got the camera on me, and you just hear these like drunk West Virginia students being like, "Get off the field, pasta guy!" And I'm like, "This is awesome. This is college right here." It was really fun. All right, we're gonna get these in here. I feel like these turn more purple, or maybe I'm colorblind.
It's a little indigo. No, it looks.
They're kind of.
I feel
purple.
like it looks.
You don't have to lie. They're a little purple.
We're repping LSU now.
We are.
That's another, like I can never say we are as a response without thinking Penn State. Or anytime Zombie Nation's on, like I literally have to say we are Penn State.
Yeah,
it's just in my blood now.
Ingrained in your soul at this point.
It is. I have to.
Which I feel like that's one of the cool things about just the college culture in general. Like any college, like no matter where you go, it kind of lives with you forever. And you can't escape it, you know?
No. But I'm totally fine with that. I will go to tailgates for the rest of my life if I can.
Yeah. All right, we'll hit this with a little bit of Parmesan. It looks pretty good.
It looks really good.
Smells pretty good. I think we might have done something here. Yeah, I could never, back when it was the baked feta tomato pasta, I just could never convince myself to try it. Just because, I don't know why, to be honest.
That was, what, 2020? I feel like
It
that
had
was
to have
2020
been
trend.
2020, yeah.
Because I remember it was quarantine.
Yeah. It was such a big, like, it took over, I feel like,
Oh, yeah.
Like, it had to have been one of the biggest things.
Maybe this will inspire me to start using my kitchen. Once I have my own apartment and my own space, then it's easier. I live with 4 girls. So it's like, and I eat dinner very early. I'm like a 5 to 6 p.m. dinner person.
I mean, you did say you're an old soul. I mean, you're like
I am. I'm like
special.
I'm like 5 p.m. dinner.
Yeah.
But I don't even really go to bed that early.
Yeah.
I just like to watch a movie and stay in, and that's just so much more enjoyable to me.
That's fair.
I mean, I'll go out sometimes.
Yeah.
My roommates will force me.
Yeah.
And
Which
it's
is
fun
good.
when I do. I know. I'm like, I have to be a college kid while I'm in school.
Right.
So.
All right. We're going to get this plated up here. Guys, she's even putting the salt away. This is...
My mom would be so proud of me. I never do that.
What a fantastic sous chef.
I'm notorious for leaving the pantry open, cabinets open.
All right, so you're just showing off right now, trying to make yourself look good.
No, I'm a new person.
I get it. Whatever it takes.
I'm running for the title of best guest.
Well, you only have 3 other ones to be. There's not much competition right now. Not gonna lie, the blue was kind of a waste. Like, you can't even really see it anymore. But I know it was
But it
there.
makes it more fun.
It does. Okay, I think that's good.
And you can see the blue a little bit.
Can you? You don't have
like
to.
It almost looks like something like happened in the cooking process that messed up the pasta, but
Are you saying it looks bad?
no, it looks great.
You just said it looks messed up.
No, I think we needed like blue sauce.
All right, a little bit of cheese.
See, no, that looks great.
And then we'll hit this with a little bit more balsamic. And then we'll go with some fresh basil.
Wow.
Like, if this is what the TikTok baked feta pasta dish was, I'd be a much bigger fan.
This looks
What do
like
you
a
think?
gourmet restaurant dish.
All right, well, it is time to dig in and see what you think. Here's your dish, inspired by you. So we
It
have
looks brilliant.
the blue and white Penn State themed pasta with the kind of baked feta tomato pasta dish, but a little fancier. So give it a try. Let me know what you think. You can be honest. I always tell the guests, be honest. If you don't like it, maybe lie about that part. Let me know what you think, and hopefully it's delicious. I mean, if not, though, too, you did kind of have a hand in it, so I don't get all the blame, I don't think.
Well, I feel like it will go the other way.
Well,
Okay.
we're about to find out. I always get so nervous about this part. I'm like, what if they don't like
The
it?
moment of truth. It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
You can be honest.
No, it's really good.
Does it need anything?
No.
Like, I feel like it needs something like crispy or crunchy on top.
No, I think
That's
it's
just
really
me like
good.
thinking like as a chef, but
I
think
feel
the
like-
flavors are good.
Yeah, no, the flavors are very good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right, well, I'm going to let you enjoy that. Thank you again for coming on the episode. I appreciate it a ton. If you guys do not follow Katie, it's not hard to find her. I'll link all of her stuff down below, and I will see you guys in the next episode. And stay tuned. We have like some giant guests coming up. We're just, like I said, we're coming in every episode with a big guest. The lineup is huge, so I'll see you guys in the next one. And that's it. It's kind of a weird way to end it, but I like it. We're running with it.